So we're spawning back in. I want to say cement factory. Bunny short. Maybe I can run back down to my body. So we're going to stop. We're going to check the gear that I loaded in with. And to tell you the truth, I don't want that gun, so I'm just going to throw it away. Because I don't want to accidentally fire that thing until I get a melee weapon. Very difficult to accidentally fire a flashlight. In case you didn't know. But I'd rather have an accidental misfire from a flashlight than a gun in the middle of town. So hopefully you saw the last video. Depending on how I edited it, I died. Gotta see where I'm at now. Let me think. It's there's a couple towns over here on the east coast that are so similar. I keep getting them mixed up. But it should be up here. So it doesn't matter. We can run back to my body, or we can start all over again. Starting all over again is fine by me. This is something that you're just going to have to get used to. And practice it. The more you practice it over and over again, the easier this is going to be until it becomes almost child play. Then you can start moving it into the interior of the map. But until then, hang around the coast. Practice those boxing moves. He clocked me good. Most of the time when they hit you, you're fine. The mistake I made was I was trying to do an all-in-one video. Let's show everybody everything. And I always try to analyze it to figure out where my mistakes were. And I can tell you right where my mistake was right there. Low blood. With only 5,000 blood, he was able to take me out with one swipe. It was an empty box of matches. I hate when they do that. If I would have had 12,000 blood, I've took hits before. And I was fine. They'll knock 2,000 points off real quick, but it won't kill you. What I should have done, before I showed you any more of the video, and to protect myself from dying, check outside the dog box, and here's the same pistol I threw away, same type. So what I should have done is a bit of self-care. This is the importance, and I'm glad I died during that video. I'm kind of hoping to get a broken leg sometime so I can show you two different ways to fix a broken leg. But and I already made the video on hypothermia where I almost froze to death, and I'll show you how to get out of that. That's in episode 10 or 11. They're just uploaded to YouTube. So self-care and keeping your blood at 12,000 is one of the most important things that you can do, because there I was susceptible. So we're going to start all over again. I may have to edit this down. The last video was about 45 minutes long. So let me run back just to save on time and save on boredom for you guys. I'm going to run back, get my gear, and get back to the same place I was. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, I'm back. All I did was I should have kept taping. All I did was run back. I remembered that there was a crowbar in one of those buildings, so I ran back, got a crowbar real quick, so I'd have a melee weapon. I remembered where my last melee weapon was. There's also baseball bats, I remember too. And ran back to my body as best as I remembered where it was at. Killed two zombies over my body. right here. Here's my body. And picked up a crowbar. Killed these two zombies. One of them happened to have antibiotics on him. So I was just thinking, you know, I have to edit these videos and cut for time. But here's the thing. I promised myself when I was thinking about starting to make these videos that I wasn't going to script them and I wasn't going to edit them too heavily. They had to be, this is what it is, this is what it's like, so you guys know what happens. And how I could tell you that I got killed by a zombie, but it doesn't help you, because if I tell you, oh, a zombie hit me and I got killed, all it's going to do for you is to lead to more questions. Where, when, how? You were hit by zombies before and it didn't kill you, so why did it kill you now? How long did it take? All this stuff. But now you can just see it. There's painkillers there. I don't need them now, so I don't take them. So it's very important that I show you everything as it happens. But on the other hand, it's this yin and yang. In 1080p recording, and I have AMD Relive, which I'm recording with. That's 16 gigabytes on your hard drive for an hour video. And if you're trying to get 2 hours of raw video a day, that's 32 gigabytes a day on your hard drive. So I really had to cut back to 720p and until I get a much bigger hard drive. So it's the yin and the yang in between them. I'm going to check this vehicle out. It's a spawn vehicle, I can tell, because they put it. No one saves an empty whiskey bottle. And 2 wooden arrows. When they have wooden arrows in them, that's the telltale call sign. This is a spawn vehicle. Because they had to come up with a way. I used to think that was the stupidest thing in the game. Why would anybody put wooden arrows in there? There's always 2 or 3 wooden arrows. Every single one. That's a way for them to tell, for you to tell which ones are spawned and which ones are not. So since we have a toolbox, we're going to look down here. The body is at 83%. The ones in yellow are good to go. It just needs a tire, and it actually might be drivable right now. Let's find out. Nope. It needs 1 tire, which I don't want to take it right now anyway. I like running the map. But the most important thing is that I know it needs 1 tire. I know where it's at. And all the fuel I need is right here, so I just need a gas can. So now I'm just moving up the coast, and I respawned. I knew I had a little bit of an advantage there because I respawned. I knew which town I was in, where you guys might not as beginners. You probably will not know because all the towns will look the same. But my advice is, and you can hear this guy aggroing, boxer stance, backing. Whoop. There we go. A little bit off today. So yeah, so that backing boxing stance is good. The other half of that I forgot to tell you is I can't remember the saying, but it comes from the movie, and you guys will probably remember the movie. Mel Gibson, the great Joaquin Phoenix. About the aliens coming to Earth, and Joaquin Phoenix's character used to play baseball. When he was trying to save the little girl, Mel Gibson's character told him to step up and swing away. I think it was swing away, Meryl, swing away. And that was his sign for Meryl there to. It wasn't swing swing hard or swing for the bleachers. It was swing away, Merrill, meaning aim for the fence. So I'm just checking my gear again. I got drinks, I got food, I got antibiotics. This is good. Backpack's empty. I have my axe on me. I just wanted to show you the crowbar, fighting with the crowbar. So I have a knife and an axe and matches. That is 3 out of the 4 most precious things in the game for me. I only need 1 more before I can travel inland. Now nowadays, a word on that, nowadays I travel inland with nothing. Once you know the map and you know your gear and your blood and what you're capable of and so forth, you need less and less to spawn in and run to the Northwest Airfield. And I gotta concentrate here. I got them 2 different directions. Come on now. Oh. So you gotta swing and swing quick. Swing. Wait on them. Wait on them. Wait on them. Wait on them. And there's just that moment where they're at the right distance away. And I just remembered that Joaquin Phoenix from that movie. And sometimes if you get backed into a corner and you got 5 or 6 of them blocking you into a house, you just swing away. Swing away. Swing as hard and as fast as you can go and hope you hit as many of them as possible. So this is a cement factory here on the coast. I'm trying to think of what I need. And the risk versus reward factors. You can go in there and get a tire. They have tires there for that truck. So they'll have your tires, your auto glass, lots of auto parts. There's a Euro that spawns there. So now let me show you something else here. Two things that will attract half the zombies in town are running and committing the Dayz sin of firing a weapon. Never, never fire a weapon at zombies. Until you have about 2 weeks into the game, do not fire your weapon, because this is what's going to happen here. We got 6 of them. Until you get to be really good at the game. I have to save a couple bullets. I only got about 3 bullets left on me. Because now it's the same as, it's equivalent. Firing a weapon at zombies is equivalent to kicking a hornet's nest. So be moving, be moving, be moving. Now these guys are quiet, but you'll hear them aggro. I love this crowbar. It has that extra sting on the end that the baseball bat doesn't have. There's a bandage. Another survival tool right here is get them to follow you back into a building. Once you have a melee weapon, you can live off these guys. They are your store. There's 2 bandages right now. And I already got 2 antibiotics off zombies earlier. Sometimes they have them, sometimes they don't. Depends on the server, how much gear. So out of this one right here, I have a can of stew, which you can see in the right hand corner. You might have to back the tape up a little bit. It replenished my moisture and my food at the same time. It rehydrated me. There's a few foods that do that. Chocolate bars do it. Snack cream cakes, peas, corn. I'm not sure about the peas, but the corn does. So it's useful to know that information too. So now that I have my axe, I'm going to carry some lumber with me. There's the Ural spawn. This is the normal everyday spawn for the Ural site. Highly sought after vehicle. Has about 200 slots. This is V3, I think. V3 Ural. So if you're backing and in that boxer stance, it'll prove itself out to you over and over and over again. But this Ural is at the cement factory with the two large gray cylindrical towers, or 6, however many there are. 8-pack, 12-pack. So just remember that 12-pack. So yeah, I got 2 bandages so far. 2 bandages, something to eat. You gotta swing just a little bit before they take their swipe. And it is about a half a second, quarter second. Nope, missed. He was just getting ready. Nope, missed. Nope. Now the reason they missed is if I would have been standing still, they might have got me. And as you've seen before, they can still hit you as you're backing. When I got killed, if I review that videotape, I'll bet you I was standing my ground and not backing. Or not backing as fast as I should have been. I bet you I was standing still. Two metal pipes, 2 empty jerry cans. You can use them. Save one here and save one for the other guy. Crowbar, pickaxe, stuff like that. They have, there's a couple barns up there. So anyway, that's what I wanted to show you. A few things. There's going to be many more things I'm going to upload about zombies and how to deal with the Zeds. Always be backing. Always be backing. Backing and boxing. Let them reset. And then if you get a chance, depending on the server, see when he started running, you want to swing. They will yell. They'll make an audible noise right before. I already have a knife, I think. Right before they strike. And you'll key on that and get used to knowing right before they're going to take a swipe at you, they want to make that growling noise. They'll shriek. More of a shriek. The reason I took them planks was just for emergency firewood. I'm going to take this emergency firewood too. Check our blood. We're up to 12,000. We're doing good. I have matches, knife, and an axe. The only other thing that I would like to have is if I was a beginner, and what I did on my first couple weeks in the game, is a water bottle. So I'm already inside. He gave up. I gotta get out of here. Oh. Kind of got stuck in that floor there. Oh. There we go. And they both have something on them. Painkillers. Painkillers. Don't need either. So you can see how far away he picked up on me. So face the threat. Swing away. Always be backing. You can see that little stutter step he did there. It's hard to see, but if you rewind this tape, you'll see that he did a little stutter step. Didn't know what was going on. This guy's going under the fence. So observation is the biggest key to these guys. He just slowed down. I knew he slowed down just because of the fence. So we're constantly moving. He's constantly moving. He's trying to home in, and he had to stop dead. That's stopping dead. He was constantly in this arcing motion. I was constantly in an arcing motion like this, moving left. He was constantly in an arc moving right. But because we were both moving, once he got within a certain distance of 10 feet, he had to stop and stand there for a second. That's the computer recalculating where you're at, where you're going to be at. And that's just what you need. Now this guy keyed up too. He aggroed too. And now he's going to slow down because of the fence. And then he's going to speed up once he comes through the fence. He's going to run over to me. And I'm going to kill him. And I'm going to swing early, swing away. So now you just took control. If you can master that, little bit of Muhammad Ali mixed with a little bit of Joaquin Phoenix, Merrill. I wish I could remember the name of that movie now. Where he grabbed the baseball bat. I think it was up on a wall or a shelf. Grabbed the baseball bat. Mel Gibson told him to swing away, Merrill. And I hope that you guys will have to comment on that in the comment section below. I hope that was the phrase he used. So all I need is a water bottle. If you have matches, an axe, knife, and a water bottle, you can go anywhere you want on this map and survive forever. The thing you're going to have to do is keep revisiting the same towns over and over and over again. At least once per day, then move on. Then go back to your original starting position from your very first day. Stay in that town, loot it, then you can go do whatever you want. And in that, find the well. The well is what you're looking for, the fresh water supply, because you will need that to save your life or your character's life 200-300 more times in game. You'll need to memorize where every single well is at, and you'll need it to be able to guide your friends there. You'll need to know that you'll need to be able to, or let me see how I want to say this. You're going to need to know the town well enough, along with the well, to be able to guide a friend, another player, a teammate, a clan member to that well when they need it, or yourself to get fresh water or to resupply your base. So finding out where every single well is at and looking in every single backyard is very important, and then keep revisiting it until you ingrain it into your memory. Then from there you can expand out to the next town. I spent 3 days in Kamenka at night, all night long, in the rain. And I didn't know where to loot my first 3 days, but I knew enough to sit in a doorway of a house, a little tiny 5 foot by 5 foot porch, step out, aggro the zombies, and when they came running after me, I backed into there, and then I would kill them right on the doorstep. And when I killed them right on the doorstep, I looted them, and I lived off of them. That's how I made it through the night without starving. Every once in a while, you could get anything, a heat pack, water bottle off of them, which are both rare. You mostly get food, sodas, some snacks. But I have got matches, antibiotics, morphine, which is very rare as antibiotics off a zombie. But now that I have my axe and my knife, I can kill and gut these animals, and I also have matches, but I'm saving my matches for a dire emergency. And we'll get into animals, hunting, and fishing in another video, and the blood count values and what blood count values are for all the animals in the game, including all the fish. And I believe it's in episode 10 or 11, can't remember now. I had to swim to Scaliste Island and That's the instructional video on the fishing and surviving hypothermia. So get to know your towns, get to know the names of what your town you're in, where the well is at, which buildings are open, which ones are not. It'll be the same type of buildings that will be open and the same type of buildings that won't be open in the next town. So now you got a leg up. And knowing your starting point is very important. So even if you have a map, even if you have a compass, and matches in a water bottle, and you're ready to head cross country, you have to hold yourself back your first couple days in Dayz, because there have been guys that have been playing off and on for 6 months and still they can't handle the zombies. And they still get killed. I still get killed, and I've been playing for a year now. And every once in a while, you're going to get killed, but you can get back in the game and get back in the swing of things fast, a lot faster, and save yourself so much agony and time. Just do the hard stuff now. Do the hard homework now. There he is. Heard him aggro. So once you master, and stick around these towns because you're going to do the same thing over and over again. Ollie and Phoenix all over again. And you need to learn where to loot, what loot pops up where, what buildings are open, what to do when it rains, what to do when it not rains. So let me show you a couple more buildings. This is this grayish green building is an industrial shed. That's where all your tools and auto parts can be at. 2 doors on it. This is an outhouse. Almost missed him. That tank straight in front of me is a fuel tank. So those and the rusty tanks all have fuel in them. Some do, some don't, but all the painted ones do. Industrial shed, auto parts, tools, axes, crowbars, stuff like that. That house, I can see the, it's a long brown log home, the long brown log home with the white shutters. Those are not always guaranteed to be open unless they've updated it. This server has been. I can see the wallpaper. I can see through the windows. It's open. The one behind it without the white shutters, Safe Haven Home, always open all the time. I can see the windows in the back, the glow in the back. That house is open. So learn what's open. Loot your zombies. Learn what gear they got. There's 2 houses right there. The red one in front, the tan one in back, not open. That shed, not open. Greenhouse, not open. Shed, not open. Right there. Now that is very important to be able to see this stuff from a distance before you go in and get killed, before you have to fight through all the zombies or bleeding to death. There's an axe on the floor here. And what we're going to do is we're going to drop this and pick up that axe. I always run around. It's up to you. It's not letting me do that now. But there we go. Most of the time you can travel with 1 axe above, 1 axe below. So I'm going to add this to my back and my hand, because you will break an axe handle. And you're going to need to have that extra axe, because when you desperately need to build a fire, extra soda I don't need. We're going to run through this barn. There's some light sticks, celluloid light sticks at night. Wouldn't do you no good to show you them today. In the daylight, So that's what you want to spend your first couple days going over until you know a town very, very well. And then if you get killed and you have to respawn back in game, it's like, hey, I know this town, I know which houses are open, I know which ones are closed, I know where to get the melee tools at, or melee weapons. And day 2 is a lot easier. Swing and swing early. And then you can always head up the coast. And here's another tip, good tip. If it's nighttime or dusk and you got your gamma and your brightness turned up all the way and you just can't figure out, it's getting hard to see. That right there is a lot of dark colors that the video game has to render in. That is better. That's 50-50 on your screen. That right there is even brighter, especially on a clear starry night. So if you hug the beach, you'll be able to see this beach line in the lowest level light and in the hardest rain, and you'll be able to hear your feet below you. So you can just follow the coast to go from one town to the next and back until you know that stretch of coastline in between very well. Then once you get 2 towns down, you can go to 3, then you can go to 4, and then you can expand. But get new players in the map all the time. There's a rainbow. All they want to do is race to the northwest airfield. They get up there because that's where the good guns are at. They're all after the good guns. They get up there, get killed, and guess what? Now they need help. Can you give me a ride? Anybody got a map? I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing. And you ask them in game, what do you want to do? I want to go to the northwest airfield again. I want to go where there's good guns. Well, they should already know how to get up there by themselves if they just spend a couple days practicing. Maybe about a week practicing. You have to be able to deal with the zombies and get the upper hand on the zombies and dealing with them. But in a low light situation, you want to stick to the coast. That's why it's so very important at night. And I'm going to do a couple videos, believe it or not, toying around with the idea of you need to master the night. So don't just log off because it's nighttime on a server and you don't prefer to play at nighttime, because there are going to be times where you're really going to have to. You need to own it and get used to it. The sooner you get used to it and get over that hump. And like I say, last night I ran at least 15,000 meters where it was so dark I couldn't even see the color of my character's clothing. But for me, it wasn't a problem because I started out in 3 dark black nights in the rain in Kamenka. So I was used to it, and once I got used to the nights and turning the brightness and the gamma up, then you can really see where you're going and know what you're doing. So that's about it for now. That should get you through most of the zombies. I got a couple other little tricks up my sleeve I'm going to show you. A really good important one next time in the next video. And we're going to start stepping it up a little bit. Here's another bonus tip for you guys. We're right below the town of Berenzino on the coast. We just came from Nichnoi and Solnikne on the map. Let me show you where we're at, so you know. Here's Berenzino. Here's Nichnoi, the cement factory right here, and Solnikne. Now on this map, it does not show you where your character is at or which way your character is facing. But if you zoom in on the map, you can use key points. I know I passed the piers. There was no lighthouse out here. And I didn't get to the big town of Berenzino. I didn't see all, 50 houses up there yet. But I do know the railroad tracks right here follow the road, which follows the beach, and I know they cross this water right here. So this right here is where we're at. Okay? So you have to use the map there. But I just wanted to show you this real quick because this is a little insider secret here. Just some dead soldiers that don't have any loot on them and old vehicle. But if you come down here, and the water's kind of high right now. Not only is this a good place to hide from players, if you hear a car coming, get underneath the bridge. They'll be driving at 70 kilometers per hour. They'll never see it. I like to put a stash or a tent right there, right into the cement, and just leave the front of the tent sticking out. That way, the next time I get killed and respawn, I don't have to go through all that looting again in town and spend an hour and a half, 2 hours looking for an axe and matches and water bottle. I just run to my stash, load up, and go. Piece of cake. And I usually have about 12 stashes, and about 6 of them are going to be where you spawn in. You can have them right down on the beach if you want. It's up to you. It's just to help you out next time. Some people might see them as cheats. I don't, and here's why. The game takes away from you unfairly. The game will despawn. I've had weapons right in the middle of a gunfight despawn right out of my hands. That happened actually not in this game, but in Exile. And it's unfair to you. So it all balances out. You have to take what you know and use all your resources. That's what the game's all about. And use them to your advantage. And you have to work efficiently. So I don't consider that a game cheat at all. It's just using everything you can to your advantage. So next we'll be up in Baronzino. I'm going to show you some more. Let me run up there now. I'm going to show you some more videos. There will be videos on navigating the entire map, food, water. The one on hypothermia, either episode 10 or 11, is already uploaded. That's a very good video, and I'm proud of it. It's very informative. There's a lot of information packed in there on how low you can go before you die. I was probably about 60-90 seconds away. Shows you the swim to Scalisti Island, and also included in that video. But today we dealt with zombies, the beach, getting used to towns. We're going to step that up a notch. We'll get into eventually base building, fixing up vehicles, flying helicopters, running missions, player versus player servers, and we'll sort of carry this along, so you'll sort of learn with me as I go, if that makes sense. In other words, I don't want to get too far ahead of you guys if you're new players. So that's why I started on the beach. First day on the beach, this is what you do when you spawn in. This is what you get for gear, and I'm probably going to do a little short video on that every time that I die, or at least every few times, so you guys can see it over and over and over again. It's the same drill. It's the same drill. So now we're right below Baronzino. Got the cranes and the smokestack. A little bit of a hazy day. Here's a bonus tip for an upcoming video about navigation. Don't know where you're at? Look up. That's all you got to do. Look up. That's your map right there. It's just a different kind of a map. But the human race has been using this map here that we're looking at for tens of thousands of years. This map is based off of the Chernarus map, and the reason the people that did the weather were so brilliant what they did. The stars are the same in the map that they are if you walk outside your door. They're not static where they stay the same every time. They change like the night sky that you see outside your door. The jet stream moves just like it does if you go outside your door right now, from west to east. So all you have to do is look up, watch the clouds on the cursor. You'll see them, they're moving. and they're moving kind of from the right to my left. If I look up over here, they're moving from my left to my right. So what you want to do is balance that out until the clouds are moving straight over your head, and you can't say for sure, are they moving more over my right shoulder or more over my left shoulder? If they're equal, that's west. That's where you'll see the sunset. That's where you'll see the sunrise. You can just see the glow on the horizon. If you look around, those are some clouds back there. But if you look around on the horizon, you'll see where it's the brightest. See the reflection on the water? And you can just see the sun poking through the clouds. That's east. I know it's morning. I know that's east. I know from the clouds that's west. So all I have to do is open up my map, zoom out. I identified where I was at by searching the map. I know that if I run west from here, follow the red line, go over, I'll pass through the town of Gorka, Berenzino, Gorka, Altar, Old Fields, Cabinino, Vibor. Here's the Northwest Airfield. Just run west, put the clouds in your face. Oldest map in the book right there that ever existed. You'll always know your direction and where you're at. But I'm going to get really in depth on navigation later on. We're going to hit in all these videos. We're going to hit many different layers, many different levels. It's kind of like peeling an onion. We're going to get better and better at it. So I'll see you in the next video, and I hope you enjoy it. Click subscribe. Hopefully I got the subscribe button fixed by now and learned myself how to do that. And I'll see you in the next couple vids. Thanks.